Alright, so to start our lesson today, we need to develop some rules, and you're actually going to do it for me. You have a warm-up in your packet. I want you to do the first two columns on the left side of your warm-up. If you can pause the video here and go ahead and do those on your own using the methods that you know. I will remind you that this is not x squared minus 5 squared. You cannot distribute that too. Remember that if a polynomial is being squared, you must write it out, x minus 5 times x minus 5, and distribute appropriately. So go ahead and pause the video and move on. All right. So we're going to go over these first two columns, and by doing this, you have actually helped to develop 3 different rules that we can use to shortcut to simplified answers. And we're going to use those as we move forward to either double check our work or actually solve problems. So let's start with this one. We wrote it out as x minus 5 times x minus 5. And then you have to distribute x to the x to the negative 5 to the x, negative 5 to the negative 5. And when you simplify, the negative 5x's combine to make a negative 10x. Try this one. It's x plus 5, you distribute, and when you combine the plus 5x and the plus 5x, you get 10x in the middle. Well, let's look at this one. X minus 5, x plus 5. When you distribute that out, notice the middle. Now you got a plus 5x and a minus 5x. And look at that. You get x squared minus 25 because the middle disappears. Each one of these has something unique to it that is going to help us if we can recognize those perfect situations. Let's start with this. This is actually a rule that you developed for us. Whatever a is minus b, if that is being squared, you're going to notice something. The a is squared, the b is squared, and the middle is negative 2ab. So, any situation, whatever this value is before the subtraction, whatever this value is after subtraction, if it's in a squared format like this, you can simply write the answer if you can identify the a and the b. This is called the square of a difference. Now, obviously it's a square of a subtraction, but this is how they state it. And you can go straight from here to your answer. So we're going to practice that over on this side later. Let's move on to this one. Well, surprise, surprise, that's a plus sign, right? So it'd be the square of a sum. But we got a plus b times a plus b gives us a result. Notice that in this case, the subtraction makes a negative middle, but a positive front and back, right? Well, in this case, because we have a plus in the middle, we end up with a plus in the middle. And still a plus on the front and the back. So, depending on whether it's a subtraction or an addition, is what changes this sign in front of the middle part. But it's always a squared, b squared, 2ab in the middle. A squared, b squared, 2ab in the middle. So these are shortcuts. If you see a square of a binomial, you can go straight to the answer. The last special product that you have to learn is this one. If you have a difference and a sum with the same a and the same b, kind of like this one over here, right? X minus 5, x plus 5. A minus b, a plus b, we can shortcut we know that this minus and this plus is going to eliminate the middle. So we end up with a squared minus b squared. Notice that it's always a subtraction, because a negative times a positive makes a negative b squared, right? This is called the product of a sum and a difference. If you have a sum and a difference, you can go shortcut straight to the square. Now let's see if we can memorize these rules and use them on this side. So you need to memorize these 3 rules. That's all you have to do today. And then see if you can apply it. So let's look at this problem. What would relate to the a? 2x. What would relate to the b? The y. And this is a difference. It's a subtraction. So I can use this rule, a minus b squared, and go straight to the answer. A squared, so 2x squared, minus 2 times a times b. So minus 2 times 2x times y, plus b squared plus y squared. So I take the a, 2x, I take the b, y, and then I figure out my middle, 2 times a times b. So if you can identify the a part of the equation and the b part of the equation, you can go straight to the answer. Boom. Remember, 2x squared is actually 4x squared, right? This 2x squared is 4x squared. 2 times 2x times y is 4xy. And y squared is y squared. And I get straight to the answer using my shortcut rule. All right, try it again. In this case, the a is x. The b is 2y. And it's a difference, so I use my difference rule here. A squared, b squared, 2ab. Solution. Let's see if we can apply our rule to the next one. This is a sum, right? So I use my sum rule. Identify my a. My a is 2x. My b is y. So I know I'm going to have 2x squared, y squared. In the middle is 2 times 2x times y. A squared, b squared, 2ab. Simplify. And we're done. Notice, because this is a difference, the middle monomial is a subtraction. This is a sum, so the middle is an addition problem. See if you can do this one real quick on your own. And you can press pause if you want a little more time. Apply the rule. Identify the a. You can simply put the a squared value here. Identify the b, put the b squared value here. And the middle is 2 times a times b. So you can start skipping this step and go straight to here, can't you? 2x squared is, or 2x squared is 4x squared. 2y squared is 4y squared. And 2 times 2x times 2y is 8xy. So you can go straight from this to this once you understand this rule. Alright, this is the easiest one. Product of a sum and difference. Notice that this and this are the same. This and this are the same, so it meets my rule. A plus B, A minus B. Well, I can skip straight to the end. A is 2x, so 2x squared, minus B is, in this case, y squared. Bam. Instead of distributing it all out, then combining, then simplifying, you go straight from identification that this is a sum and a difference. I go straight to the answer. Now, look over here. When you did it as a full distribution problem, you still got the same exact answer, didn't you? So, I distributed all the way out, and you got the x squared, and you got 2 of the 5 x's, and you got the 5 squared. Works the same exact way, except if you identify the rule, you can do that shortcut instead of distributing and writing it all the way out. So can you really quick off the head rattle off what this answer would be? Did you get it? X squared 4y squared with a negative sign in between, right? There you go. That is all you have to know today, those 3 pieces. If you can memorize this, now can you identify it when it comes up on a problem sheet? Can you see that, hey, this is a difference squared, so I'm going to take the a and square it on one side, the b and square it on the other, and get 2ab in the middle. That's the question. So let's practice a little bit. Why don't you get your classwork and homework out? Should have both of those available. And this is where we're going to practice square of a sum, square of a difference. So, this is number 1 on, I believe, your homework. And what I've done is I've actually taken the rule and plopped it down below it so you can kind of see how we apply it. So, we're taking x minus 6 squared. I'm identifying that the x is the a of my rule, 6 is the b of my rule, and I can go straight to my answer. A squared minus 2 times a times b plus b squared. Substitute the information I have. A is x. A is x. B is 6. B is 6. And get my final answer. Notice that 2x6 is the same as 6 times 2 times x, right? So you can simplify that. X squared, 6 squared, 2 times x times 6. So I go from this straight to this. This is a sum. So instead of a subtraction problem here, I have an addition problem that I'm going to create, but let's identify the a, 3p. So the first monomial is 3p squared. Let's see. What's 3 squared? Oh yeah. It's 9. What is 4 squared? Oh yeah, it's 16. Well, what is 2 times 3p times 4? There we go. So I can go straight from this to this using my rule. The a squared, the b squared, and 2 times 3p times 4. tool, huh? Apply the rule. Don't do it the old way. Practice using the new special polynomial rules that you've been given. Don't revert back to the old way. For these particular problems, I want you to practice using your rules. All right? Now, when it comes to the SOL, real-life situations, anything like that, you can still use the one rule you know, distribution, appropriately. But it becomes shorter, faster, easier when you know some of these little shortcuts. So, if you can memorize them, they will help you and make your life a little bit easier if you can identify them. Okay? This is the product of a sum and difference page. I took number 1 and I just put the rule underneath it. If it's x minus 4, x plus 4, that follows the a minus b, a plus b rule. So you should go straight to the answer. This is a sum and a difference. So what's the a? It's x. So I write x squared. What's the b? It's 4. So I write 4 squared, which is 16. Done. This equals this, so this equals this. Rather than writing this as 4 squared, I'm going to write it as 16, because I know that is a number. Okay, let's try down here. This is A, this is B, A, B. Sum and a difference. So, what's A? 4x. What is 4x squared? Well, the 4 has to be squared as well, right? And so I'm going to write 16x squared. And then the 5 is the b. I write it as 25. I'm done.